Hi, welcome to another video. This is Darren from EnglishTuition.org, and I'm the English tutor on the website. Now in today's video, I'm going to answer just one very frequently asked question. Now you see my videos, or if you visit my website, you keep seeing the term custom materials. Now I just want to run through very quickly what exactly do I mean when I say custom materials. Now when it comes to teaching resources, basically they are divided into three different categories. The first category is basic language work, because I do not see a difference in level, right? Whether you're primary school or secondary school when it comes to language. Some secondary school students, they may feel that they are already very advanced just because they are in the secondary school level, but in fact their foundation is actually quite weak. So language work, if I feel that there's a need for them to continue building on their foundation, strengthening their foundation, then yes, they do have to go through a series of language work. So what do I mean by language work? So language work, my custom worksheets will be categorized according to the different topics. For example, new students may learn about, or they may get a list of verbs that has all the different forms, simple present tense, simple past tense, and participle forms. They are made to learn how to spell all the different verbs, alright, within that list. So there is spelling, okay, that is given to some of the newer students. And of course, they learn some of the grammar rules, like what is subject-verb agreement, how to go about making sure that they do the necessary checks, which are the pitfalls to look out for when it comes to grammar. Okay, and the entire list of grammar topics will be subsequently covered over a period of time. Pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, phrasal verbs, okay, which is hardly ever covered in school, which I feel that is useful, right, for students to pick that up as a part of their so-called vocabulary expansion. Okay, and now the other two categories of custom materials that I have, these materials I do separate them in based on their level, right? Primary school will get their own primary school materials. Secondary school students will get secondary school level materials. The reason being, when I work on the syllabus work, right? And because I teach based on the PSLE and the O-level syllabus, so when I work on the syllabus work, there's no point combining primary school and secondary school together anymore, right? They have to try to tackle the challenges that are given to them at that particular level. So, for example, right, primary school kids, they will be taught creative writing, and what are the different processes, and I'll explain to them why I prefer, that things are done in a certain way. Then ultimately it's up to them to decide whether the writing style is suitable for them or not, and then they go on to develop their own writing style, right? Rote learning, memorization work, yes, there will be some, right? As mentioned, there's spelling, and when I give out worksheets like for creative writing, they may be asked to pick up some phrases here and there to use, okay? But there will not be any dictation, right? I do not want them to memorize entire passages and then just to regurgitate and spit them out during the exam. I do not believe in that. I want them to develop their language skills, not to blindly follow what other people are doing. Okay, and for the other components as well, like closed passages, grammar, MCQ, right? All these worksheets will be relevant to the PSI syllabus, right? Now on the secondary school level, because once you go secondary school, in fact almost all the exercises that you do in English are open-ended. There will no longer be any MCQ, right? So if I ever give MCQ, it will be in the mini test, which actually tests their knowledge and familiarity with the syllabus. Okay, but other than that, I very rarely use MCQ when I, in my secondary school materials for my students, right? In fact, they will be asked to do more open-ended questions. Like for example, I have a set on comprehension, question answering techniques, which I will go through with them. Okay, and I have a set of worksheets on situational writing where they will be asked to practice the different types of writing, like letters, emails, speeches. Okay, and yeah, basically a lot of the materials are based on open-ended questions. Once in a while, for the older students, I will also try to curate some materials from news articles, okay, which I bring into my lessons, because I feel that secondary school students sometimes I feel that they have a lack of knowledge of what is happening around them, and when they write essays, okay, they run into this problem, right? So even if they have very strong language, very strong vocabulary, okay, but they do not know how to use whatever they have learned to come up with very good content, okay, for their essays. So on that note, I do work with them, okay, once in a while, to build up their awareness of what is happening in our community right now. Okay. On top of that, I also have videos, okay, something like the one that you're watching now, that help me in the teaching. Now, I rarely use videos in tuition lessons. Okay, most of my tuition lessons are done live. Okay, but sometimes videos can help, right? For example, I use some of my videos, and after watching the videos, they will be asked to do some worksheets. So they cannot just passively sit down there and like watch a movie and then, you know, in their head it's empty, right? Nothing goes inside. So they have to actively listen to the video, watch the video, and pick up some of the content and the strategies that are being taught in the videos. So hopefully this will also help them with their listening comprehension, okay, make them, you know, develop them to become better listeners, and yeah, and overall that's the type of custom materials that I have. I have over here the file that I carry with me every single day, right? Just let me run through some of the materials which I've just mentioned with you. So I do keep a record of the materials that my students have gone through, right? So every student or every small group that I have, I keep a record. Okay, there's vocabulary, there's editing worksheets, phrasal verbs, situational writing, essays for secondary school students, complete skills, which I mentioned, grammar, the whole set of it. Okay, and I think the newest one that I have is a list of adjective worksheet. Okay, which help them build up their adjectives. This is useful for both primary and secondary school students. Primary school students can pick up these adjectives, and it will help them in several components, right? For example, it will help them with their composition writing. They can use this adjective for more descriptive writing, okay? And at the same time, it may also help them in their vocabulary section, right? The more words they know, okay, the higher chance that they will get their MCQ correct. Okay, the vocab section in paper 2 of the PSLE syllabus, okay, which is total of 10 marks for vocab, 5 marks, okay, and that section itself usually is quite poorly done, which affects the overall result of booklet A. Okay, so booklet A is upon 28 marks, and usually most students will get like between 20 to 23. So the students who get 23 and above are considered the better students already, right? And the reason why they are not able to get above 20, 21 is because of the vocabulary section. They can get full marks for grammar, okay, no problem at all. But when it comes to vocabulary, if you don't know the answer, you just cannot answer the question, okay? So that's where they lose the marks. Okay, and the same set of worksheets, adjective worksheets, is still useful even for secondary school students, because my worksheet requires them to work on their paraphrasing, okay, to find synonyms, you know, to learn more over and above, okay, the basic adjectives that they already know. Okay, so that helps them with their paraphrasing, and paraphrasing is a very important skill in secondary school, because many times in the O-level syllabus, you have comprehension questions that ask you to answer in your own words. So you never see that in primary school. So for primary school students, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, but for secondary school students, this is a very essential skill, right? So when you see the question asking you to answer in your own words, you literally don't have a choice. Okay, so you have to try and replace the words, okay, with words that are with similar meanings. Okay, and on top of that, there's the summary writing. Summary writing is another component, 15 marks, okay, in the O-level syllabus comprehension, and it's quite heavy weightage, right, which requires students to use their paraphrasing skills. So this set of worksheets actually help them with that. All right, and yeah, so basically what you see here, okay, I keep proper records of what is happening during the lessons. So this stuff over here is, I know it's a bit untidy because that's for my own reference, right? You see a lot of percentages, a lot of marks. Okay, these are all the marks that I've recorded for the mini tests and the mock assessments I've talked about in my previous videos. So yeah, hopefully this video gives you a better idea of what I mean, okay, when I say custom materials. Okay, these will be the kind of materials which I hope will eventually help your child to succeed in his or her studies. Alright, that's all I have for you in this video. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day ahead. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you around.